really need to know a lot. You just need to know a few things so you can get the results. And one of the things I think is important is you don't have to focus on all the minutia about how all the stuff necessarily works. Because getting caught up in that puts you into a state of, I'm still learning this. I don't know enough yet because I don't understand it all fully yet, so I can't, take action. So I don't want you to get into a position where something is a potential holdback on taking action. The training balance scale, correct. And that's focusing too much on the how, exactly right, as opposed to just the thought process. Yes.
My head, I know there's a level here of is this emotion or am I thinking it or what? I mean,
that's a good question. The question is with guys. It's a very, very, very astute point. Guys generally don't use emotion as much as gals, and so the question from a male's perspective, how do I really know my emotional guidance system? Because guys usually have most of the thought process and not using the gut feeling. Just ask yourself, how does this feel? The correct question is not, what do I think about this? The question is, how do I feel about this? And when you ask that question, your body will give you a response. Initially, you may not necessarily notice that response, but every time you ask the question, your body is going to respond and you will be able to pick up the subtle cues over time. You'll be able to feel the difference. And I'll give you an example. If you can test this out, go to a buffet. You know what foods you like, right? And you know what foods you hate. Real simple. Look at the food you hate and say, how does this feel to me? Then go to the food you like and go, how does this feel to me? You will definitely feel a distinctive difference. And that's a good way to start the process. Because that way you know the yes and you know the no. You already know the answer. So you're just testing the feeling process. Yeah, anything you already know the answer to, you can just ask yourself, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about that? And you can start getting the distinction between the two. Yes. Well, the question is, let's say I'm going in front of something that is potentially bad for me, but I'm addicted to it. Like, I'm a heroin addict. How does the heroin feel to me? Very, very good. Okay. But you don't have to go in that direction. You're just picking up some of the subtle cues right now. You'll be able to see how the difference is. Remember, this is 5 minutes to learn, a lifetime to master. And one of the things you're going to find right now is don't get caught up in being perfect with this. Just understand that this is the process. And when you understand you don't have to be perfect, you understand the next concept that we talked about, which is what? There are no bad decisions. So you can also start getting indicators based on a phenomena or result based on that choice. So you can get that indicator and go down this road with no fear of consequence, because there is no consequence. There's just a result that's going to give you a positive result regardless of the result. Either that positive result is an instant phenomena that you wanted, or a, quote, negative phenomena, which will allow you to clarify what you want and focus more and bring it into fruition. So you get that learning experience out of it. So every result is a positive result. You get something out of every result. So there's never any negative consequence. Okay, now, before the break, before lunch, we talked about the 3 sentences or the 3 statements, which is you're learning how to achieve your dreams or how to have or do everything you want. And ultimately, you're learning it, you know it, and then you're actually doing it. You are. I am achieving. So you're in that I am. We talked about most people can say, yes, I agree, I'm learning it. Yes, I could even get to the point of saying, I know enough. I don't know it all, but I know enough to get started. But the big hang up is actually starting engaging in the process. Actually, how do I start doing this? How do I get off point zero? And what's holding me back? So let me give you what generally is holding you back. And I'll tell you what is holding you back or stopping you, and then how to overcome that. This will take 5 minutes for you to learn and a lifetime for you to master. You know, every time, see, I deal with kind of two groups of people. I deal with my contemporaries from around the world. And if you were to sit and be a fly on the wall and listen to our conversations, either on the phone or in person, conversations with the people that are doing this and know this, still learning it, but know it very well, and are actually applying it and seeing great results. If you were to be that fly in the wall, you would notice distinct differences in that conversation than with conversations that maybe you have with your contemporaries. There are wildly different conversations, wildly different attitudes, wildly different body postures. It's like people from two different countries speaking two different languages, two different cultures. It's really uniquely different. But the data works so well when you know it. And it is so simple. It is not complicated. You don't have to sit in a sweat lodge. You know, you don't have to have mystical, magical stones put all over your body. You don't have to have energy workers clear your energy. You don't have to go to astrologers and get astrological charts and plan out your whole life based on your horoscopes and your astrocartographies. All those things are not bad. I'm not saying that they're bad. They can be helpful tools for sure, but none of them are needed. Do you understand that? None of them are needed. You don't need anything. You got everything you need right now, just you. That's all you need. These things are not requirements. They're not needed. If anything, they can be used as crutches where you think, oh, I can't get to that next level because I don't have the funds to buy that or go to that seminar, or that's why I'm not successful because I don't have that. And none of that's needed. They can be helpful tools. They can give you some maybe advantages, but they're not needed or required. And many of the people that have achieved outrageous amounts of wealth or success, none of them are using all of those things. They just don't have time in their life. They're too busy achieving their dreams and goals. Does that make sense? Now, again, none of them are bad. And certainly I give you, and throughout the Jinn training, we give you a lot of potential tools that you can use. The key, though, is knowing that these are just tools that you can use. They're not requirements for you to achieve your dreams and goals. So, what's holding you back? The first thing that's holding you back from actually taking this knowledge that you have and applying it is your programs, your internal programming. You have programs that you run automatically. These programs in your mind are programs that you created over time. These programs were based on decisions that you made. When you were a kid, you were driving your bike or riding your bike, and all of a sudden a poodle came running out of the neighbor's yard, barking hysterically, frightened you, and you fell off your bike. And you ran home crying. And you have made a decision that you hate poodles. You could have also made the decision that you hate dogs. You could have also made the decision that riding fast is something that you'll never do again. You could have made the decision that you don't like bicycles. Your parents could have said, no, don't go out by yourself. Always go with a friend or your brother or sister. And you said, no, I'm going alone. And you may have made the decision you're never going out alone again. Because it was a bad experience. You were out alone, and this happened to you, and now you have a stuck that says, I'm only going if somebody else comes with me. You may have some program like that. Does that make sense? And so we have hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of these programs. Some are more powerful than others that subconsciously shape our decisions. So the first thing we do is we have programs. These programs could be from events. It could be from repetitive statements made to us by people in authority. Parents, older siblings, relatives, teachers, coaches, etc. When you're young and somebody in authority tells you something, it is fact. Generally. The other thing that could happen, but it doesn't happen very often, is when somebody tells you something that you disagree with, the exact opposite.
Starting in 60 seconds, fam. 60 seconds. Let everybody know it is Friday and we starting in 60 seconds, guys. Let's get it 60.
Opposite occurs. Instead of it becoming fact, you've made a decision that you're going to prove them wrong. And that can work to your advantage. But we didn't know this growing up, so and we can't go back and change it. I'm just telling you what the fact is here of how these programs happen. So the first program is from events in which we make decisions. The second one is from what people tell us in a position of authority. The third program is from the media. Movies, cartoons, television, music, in today's environment, video games, the general media. Repetitive stereotypes, repetitive themes start becoming fact, becoming auto-programming. I grew up and there were some cartoons on that are illegal today. I don't know if you know this. How many people here remember Dick Tracy, the cartoon Dick Tracy? Okay. Why do you think it's illegal today? Do you remember Go-Go Gomez? Right? Remember Go? Think of the stereotypes in Dick Tracy and some of those cartoons. You had the Chinese guy with the thick glasses and the buck teeth. You had Go-Go Gomez, the Mexican. So you had all these different stereotypes from different ethnic groups. You don't see, remember the little mouse? Andale, andale, arriba, arriba, you're right? You don't see that anymore, right? So think of the
That's
Mr.
throwback.
Magoo. Remember Mr. Magoo? Some of these you don't see anymore because there were very stereotypical, depictions of ethnic groups in these particular cartoons. And
All right, familia. A blessed morning. I'm blessed and I'm a happy Friday. It is a blessing every morning to just be able to be here and express my gratitude for another beautiful day that we get a chance to wake up and serve our purpose. That CD is that's one on level 3. You got to have access to the folder for it. So if it's not on the internet, you actually can't get it unless you have the folder. But I hope everybody is having a blessed morning. I know I am. I'm feeling good this morning. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling aligned. 40 days into my routine. Feels great. It's amazing when you think about it. You look back and it's like, damn, bro, it's been 40 days. Like, it's pretty dope. And said it's cutting out. How come? Let me see. Is it cutting out for everybody? And it says mine is pretty good. Let me clean this camera right here. On my side, you're good. Go on, come back in. Good for me. Guys, if it's cutting out for you, go out and come back in. I guess it was just a little lag. We haven't been lagging in a while, so I know it's not my Wi-Fi. I know we're solid on my side. Okay, now we good. Fixed, restart. Yeah, it's back now. You froze for like a minute. All right. Okay. That's what it is. All right, we're good now. All right, awesome. And if you are cutting out, go out and come back in, so that way we can make a run. But with that being said, guys, I'm blessed. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm feeling really good. I wanted to teach you guys something powerful this morning, but before I do so, I want to make sure that we spread the word. Let everybody know that the call is live if you haven't already, and let's express our gratitude because, as we know, gratitude is the source where all good things come from. And we never, ever, ever want to forget to express gratitude. So what is one thing that we are grateful for this morning? Express it in the chat box. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my health, my mind, my body, and my spirit. I'm grateful for the amazing life that we get a chance to live each and every single day. Grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. Grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. Extremely grateful for my team and the leaders within the organization. Grateful for, the food we get to eat on a day-to-day basis, the roof over my head. Extremely grateful for just everything that's happening in life in general, man. It's just, it is amazing. Grateful for the event and everybody who came out yesterday. We had a really good event yesterday. So, that felt good. Grateful for my brother KD as well, who's here with me. Also grateful for Katie. Grateful for my mom. She's here right now. She's seasoning some food right now so it could be ready for later. So, looking forward to just everything in general. Just filled with gratitude, which is the key to life, right? Feeling extremely grateful for just all that happens in life on a day-to-day basis, fam. So super blessed, super grateful. And let's talk about what we came here to talk about today, which I call it quarter 4. All right, emotional intelligence. Now, the reason why I wanted to do a training on this is because emotional intelligence is something that we always need to continuously learn, right? It took me, multiple lessons of emotional intelligence. It took me multiple, understandings and reading and doing the training over and over and over again in order for me to fully understand, how emotional intelligence worked, the basics of it, the foundation of emotional intelligence. So going into this next quarter 4, okay, I want to make sure that you guys are aware of your emotional intelligence, okay? Because we've talked about, plenty of things over the last, few months and a few weeks, and we've talked about manifestations, and we've talked about evaluations and subconscious mind, conscious mind, subjective versus objective. We've really tapped into a lot of different areas. And one of the most important areas that we got to tap into is our emotional intelligence, okay? Because they do say that EQ is more important than IQ, okay? EQ, which is your emotional intelligence, is more important than IQ, okay? And, IQ being your knowledge and what you know and so on and so forth. But remember, your emotional intelligence is also very key. And this is something that I've been working on for years, okay? I want you guys that I always did not have the best emotional intelligence. But with time, with practice, with the situations that get put in your life, you start to develop an emotional intelligence that is really, really good. And that's what I want all of us to do is I want you guys to develop a stronger and more intentional emotional intelligence so that you can understand how to go about certain situations that life throws at you. Because remember, every situation that happens in our life activates a certain emotion, right? This call activates a certain emotion, right? The calls that you do, the trainings that you hop on, the people that you meet, the places that you go to, everything always, activates a specific emotion inside of you. And I got to make sure that you guys understand how this all works, okay? But we got to remember this, okay? And I want to make sure everybody does. What happens to everybody, okay? And we got to always remember that. What happens is happening to all of us, okay? But it's like I said the other day, it's not about what happens that will determine our future, is what we do about what happens, okay? So it's not what happens that determines our future. It's what we do about what happens that will determine our future, okay? And I'm telling you because we are all going to go through very, challenging situations throughout this journey. And we've talked about the difference between reacting versus responding and all of this good stuff. But there's actually 4 levels to emotional intelligence. And that's what I'm going to cover on this call. I'm going to cover the 4 levels of emotional intelligence today. I'm going to teach you guys this. And this is by far will be one of the most valuable trainings that I do on this call. Guarantee you. Okay. This is a very important training. You need to understand this. You got to make sure that you learn this. You got to become aware of this information because, like I said, your emotional intelligence is something that will be tested every single day. Your emotional intelligence is being tested multiple times throughout the day. Okay. It's not just here. It's not just with your significant other that your emotional intelligence gets tested or with your kids. No, your emotional intelligence is being tested at all times. Okay. It truly is. All right. And you have to make sure that you are aware, all right, on how to make sure that it doesn't get the best of you. Okay. Because a lot of people have missed out on great opportunities in life. They have missed out on amazing opportunities that could have changed their lives. But because of their lack of emotional intelligence, they overreacted. Because of their lack of emotional intelligence, they let the opportunity pass them by. Okay. And this is something that needs to be addressed and made sure of. So I wanted to do this training on this Friday so that we can go into the weekend with the idea of developing that emotional intelligence and working on this for the rest of the year going into 2023. Okay. Because being that, we have all of these things that are happening in our outside world, it's important that we understand what emotions we need to have towards the situations that are happening on a day-to-day basis. Okay. So let's talk about the 4 levels of emotional intelligence. Okay. The first level, number 1, is self-awareness. Okay. The first level of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. Okay. Emotional self-awareness. Okay. Now, what is emotional self-awareness? Let's talk about this really quick. Emotional self-awareness is the ability to know yourself and understand your feelings. Okay. Emotional self-awareness is the ability to know yourself and understand your feelings. Okay. And you got to understand this because you got to know what's causing you to feel the way that you feel, right? If you're feeling happy, if you're feeling grateful, if you're feeling successful, okay, you got to know what is causing you to feel that way. Why are you feeling so happy? Why are you feeling so good? Why are you feeling so abundant? And then what you want to do is you want to learn how to amplify those feelings. Okay, because if I'm feeling happy, I'm like, yo, how can I get more happier? Right? If I'm feeling successful, what can I do to become, and I mean, what can I do to feel even more successful, right? When you having good, positive feelings, when you become aware, like, yo, I'm in a good mood right now, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling blessed, everything is working in my favor, you got to look for ways to amplify those feelings. Okay. But on the other side of the coin, right? What if you've been feeling stressed, depressed, anxiety, overwhelmness, right? You got to also find out why is it that you're feeling that way? Think about what happened yesterday, right? What happened last week? What's happened this year? What is it that is causing you to have these feelings of stress, of depression, of anxiety, okay, of doubtfulness, fear, insecurity? You have to be aware. You have to know. You can't just be somebody that is just going about your days day to day with these emotions, but not aware of what caused them. And this is so important. You need to know what is causing the emotions that you are feeling today. What are causing those emotions? Whether they're good or whether they're bad, you need to know what's causing them. Okay. And if you are having good feelings already, you're having happy and positive feelings already, you got to find out how you can amplify those feelings. Okay. But if you are feeling feelings of, like I said, negativity, doubt, fear, insecurity, stress, depressed, you got to identify what is causing those feelings. And then you got to make a pivot. You got to get down what they say is to the root cause, right? The root. What is the root? Because usually when those feelings surface and you can now feel them and now you can see them and now you can understand them a little bit, you need to know the root cause, which is what caused them. Where was the seed planted? What seed was planted there? What fear was planted? What caused you to feel this way? What situation was it? What person? What circumstance? You need to know this. This is so important, guys. This is valuable information. We're looking, bro. And when I started to learn about emotional intelligence, this was something that I had to learn. Not had to, but I knew that it was required in order for me to become a successful business owner. Because you see, I realized that one of my weaknesses was my emotional intelligence in the past, right? I didn't have the best emotional intelligence. And it wasn't that I was extremely emotional, but in a sense I was. And it wasn't like I was a loud person, like, I was a loud emotional person. Like, usually I was emotional, but I was emotional with myself, right? I wasn't like that kind of person that would, you know, blurt out and be the loud emotional person. That's never who I was, right? But I was emotional with myself, right? I kept it in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if can anybody relate here. Type of one in the chat box if you can relate a little bit. You're more emotional, just more with yourself. You're not the kind to, be the one that's out there loud and screaming and, physically, going out there and showing emotion to everybody. You just kind of with yourself, kind of emotional, right? And I realized that, yeah, man, Pisces problems, right? And I realized that, that emotion, those emotions that I was having were holding me back, right? I realized that I had to work on my emotional intelligence. Okay. And what it says right here, something that I wrote down, it says that awareness isn't just about feelings. Okay. It has to do with understanding your strengths and your weaknesses as well. Okay. So this is just not about the feeling. Okay. You also got to understand, okay, what your strengths and your weaknesses are, what you're good at, what can you be better at. Okay. All the things that make you who you are. You got to know how to leverage the strengths, and you got to know how to delegate what you're not that good at, right? And there were certain things that I was really, really good at, but then there were things that would make me extremely emotional, right? Okay. And remember, a lot of, self-awareness has to do with self-confidence. All right. It has to do with having faith in yourself and being able to put that best foot forward every single day. When you're self-aware and you have that confidence, nobody can tell you anything. You know that you can do anything. Having that confidence that any situation that happens in your life, you know that you can get through it emotionally. It doesn't matter what happens in your life, okay? You gotta know that, whatever situation shows up, you're gonna handle it to the best of its ability. You're confident that you're gonna handle it to the best of its ability. You have no doubt. And that's where I've kind of gotten today, right? Any situation that happens in my life, I know how to respond to those situations. Now, is it hard? Yes, it's hard. It's hard to develop because it's something that we're not used to, right? Situations usually happen and we react first off our first emotion. But when you learn and you develop that emotional intelligence, you actually learn to stop before you react. And instead of reacting, you actually respond, because there's situations that happen in my life that have happened in my life that usually what I would have done was react emotionally first. But I've realized that now every time a situation happens in my life, I right away stop. I've taught myself to stop first. Stop and think. Let's logically think about this. How is this making you feel? All right, perfect. This is making me feel like this. Okay. If you take action with these feelings, what could it possibly create? All right. You gotta analyze the situation before you actually take action on it. Right. I'm not just situation happened, boom, and I'm reacting to it. No, no, no. I'm actually taking the time, okay, to sit down and actually analyze the situation myself. Okay, if I allow this person to affect my energy and I react to the situation, this is what could happen. But what if I just take the situation and, all right, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm actually just going to brush it past. I'm going to communicate clearly what it is that I feel, and I'm going to let it go. Those things are so much better, right? Because these are things that happen on a day-to-day basis, especially with our families, especially with our team, okay? Especially if you're in a relationship as well. You have to be extremely emotional intelligent when it comes to these things, right? You want to be able to sit down and you got to be like, man, I'm feeling this way. I know if I say this, it's going to cause this. So I got to change what I'm going to say, right? And even still to this day, these are things that I am working on. Okay. You have to be aware of the things that you are feeling and how you react or respond to every situation. The first level to emotional intelligence is your own self-awareness. Like CJ said in the chat, you got to learn how to analyze and properly assess the situation. A lot of situations are made based on emotions. You got to learn how to make every situation on logic. And you got to practice this daily. This is something that has to be practiced daily. Because I took the time to practice these things daily, and I'm still practicing it. So I don't want you guys to think that, my emotional intelligence is perfect and I'm the most, I'm the most emotionally intelligent person in the world, because I'm definitely not. But what I will tell you guys is that I am a lot more aware. I am a lot more aware. Okay. And the way I prepare myself is that every situation that shows up in my life nowadays, I take those situations to practice now, regardless of what it is, right? Whether it's something that happened with my team, if it's something that happened with a leader in my organization, all right, if it was, a disagreement that I had with my girlfriend, maybe, something that my mom said to me, or, it all depends on what the situation is, right? And every situation that happens in your life is an opportunity for you to practice that emotional intelligence. Those are all moments to learn. Those are all moments to strengthen it. Okay? Because you got to remember, right? Every moment that you get a chance to practice your emotional intelligence, you either are going to choose to react to it or you're going to choose to respond to it. If you react, you lose because you didn't practice it. But if you respond, you win. And because I've been able to respond so much to certain situations that have happened in my life, I've developed good emotional intelligence. And this is something that you're going to need in this journey. You're going to need this in this journey. You're going to need emotional intelligence in this journey. I guarantee you that. You're going to need it. Because this journey is filled with a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of people, a lot of different circumstances and situations that happen. Dude, you're going to need emotional intelligence today when you go about your day. Once we hop off this call, right away, you're going to know you're going to need that emotional intelligence, right? Because think about it. Emotional intelligence even has to do with you getting yourself out of bed, with you even getting yourself to work. You got to realize, like, yo, I'm being lazy right now. Why am I being lazy? Okay. Why am I not getting out of bed and going to doing my morning routine? What's causing me? What feelings am I feeling? You got to realize those things. That's why I can wake up one day and I'm self-aware of my emotions. I'm like, damn, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling, just, just lazy today. I don't know if I want to go to the park today. And I can right away realize I'm like, okay, boom. Wait, I'm feeling tired, lazy. Okay. If I allow myself to stay in bed and stay home and not do my morning routine, I reacted. I reacted because I let my emotions get the best of me. But logically, I got to think, okay, well, I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling this, but regardless, I'm on a run right now. I'm at 40 days in. I got to be an example for my team. I got to go read. I got to go journal. Okay, this is the best thing for me. I'm going to think logically. I'm going to go to the park. I don't care that I feel tired. I don't care. Those are just emotions. I got to change what I'm thinking. I'm got to change what I'm saying to myself. And now I changed that. And that battle, like I said, those moments right there are what makes you right there. I'm telling you guys because these are things that I deal with daily. These are things that I'm developing daily. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, yo, should I do what's easy or should I do what's hard? I love that you said that, Melissa. Because I do remind myself of that all the time. I'm like, if I do what's easy now, my life will be hard later. But if I do what's hard now, my life will be easy later. What is hard for me to do right now? Wake up and go to the park. What's hard for me to do right now? Go to the park and work out and do my morning routine. It's realizing those emotions, right? What do I want to do right now? Do I want to hang out with my friends or do I want to stay home and work on my business? You got to realize those emotions. Man, I really want to go hang with my friends and chill and smoke hookah and listen to music, right? Those are emotions. Think about it. That's a feeling that you have. You feel like going to do that. But then you got to think, this is what's best for me at this moment right now? Can I get some work done first and then go do that? Can I sit here, finish reading this book and just stay home for today and maybe hang out another day? practicing that emotional intelligence is so key. So key with everything. With everything. You got to practice it. Even when it comes to smoking weed, right? You got to know your emotional intelligence. You got to know, like, okay, I do this every day. Okay, you know what? For this week, for this month of September, I'm only going to do it when I deserve it. I'm going to do it to celebrate my day at the end of the day. But I'm going to make sure that I am productive first before I actually choose to do that. That's emotional intelligence right there. Having that emotional intelligence is mad key right there. That was something that I had to learn how to do. I'm like, okay, usually I would want to do it at any time. And I'm like, no. You can't think like that. And that's emotionally reacting to the situation. Work all day. And at the end of the day, if you want to do it, you do it. But because you deserved it, not because you wanted it or you needed it. It's having that emotional intelligence. This is so important. It is so key. So key. So self-awareness is the first level of emotional intelligence. And you got to know the enemy, because remember, I want you guys to write this down. You can't defeat the enemy if you don't know the enemy. You can't defeat the enemy if you don't know the enemy. How can you defeat someone or defeat something that you don't know? You got to know what is it that is holding you back? What emotions is it that keep haunting you? Super key. Super key. My self-awareness has helped me a lot, because like I said, I was a very emotional person within. I'll never show it, but within I am. And these are things that I've had to work on. And I'm actually grateful that I've been that I am emotional the way that I am, because I'm so emotional, it has given me more practice to work on it. I'm always practicing my emotional intelligence, always, because I'm self-aware now. I realize my feelings. I realize where they're coming from. I realize so much now. And because I realized so much, I've been able to take a lot more control of that intelligence. And it has helped me tremendously in my business and in all areas of my life. It has helped me so much because my emotional intelligence is always on point now. So self-awareness is number one. Okay. And we could keep talking about self-awareness, but I want to keep going to the other ones. Okay. Level two of emotional intelligence is self-management. Level two is self-management. Now, what do I mean by self-management? Manage the thoughts you're having on a day-to-day basis. Okay. You got to manage the thoughts that you are having on a day-to-day basis, because remember, like we always say, the thoughts create the emotions. So you got to be aware of what thoughts you're having on a day-to-day basis, so that you can make sure that the emotions that you create on a day-to-day basis are in alignment with the thoughts that you're having. That's why I say your morning routine is so key, because what you pour into your mind in the morning will determine the emotions that you feel throughout the day. Because remember, what you think in the morning will determine the direction of your thoughts in the day. So for example, if you wake up and you're having thoughts of negativity, of doubt, of fear, of insecurity, you're not doing your morning routine, you feel guilty that you didn't wake up and do something productive, and so on and so forth, you feel guilty that you didn't work out. These are the thoughts that you had in the morning when you woke up. You didn't practice gratitude, you didn't pray, you didn't connect yourself, you didn't read nothing, you didn't listen to no audios. You just woke up and got on your phone and did nothing. Your thoughts are going to be all over the place. You got on your phone and saw all these news and you saw all these things and you heard this and think about it now. Those are going to be your thoughts for the rest of the day. And usually, what do those thoughts create? They create emotions of doubt. They create emotions of fear. They create emotions of insecurity, negative emotions they create. So that's why the morning routine is so key. You got to wake up. You got to pour into yourself. You got to read those books, positive books that are pouring into you, right? You got to listen to those audios that remind you positive information. Listen to positive information. Fall asleep listening to these things, right? So that now for the rest of the day, your thoughts are positive, empowering, abundant thoughts, which will create good and positive emotions. That's what your self-management is all about. Your self-management is all about managing your thoughts. Managing your thoughts. You got to do it daily. And the morning is the best point for it. That's why I'm so big on you guys doing your routines. That's why I literally, we talk about morning routine every day on this call. I remind you guys about it every day. You know why? Because that's where the work is done. That's why spending an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours every morning working on yourself is so important. Especially right now. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have that goal card with you, that you're constantly reading it, that you're constantly speaking affirmations, you're constantly going on gratitude walks. And it's the best time to do it. It's in the morning. Those are the best times to do it, in the morning and at the night before you go to sleep. And you got to do it every single day. Because how could you have a bad day? Think this is what your ideal morning should look like. And this is just an ideal morning, right? You wake up, practice gratitude prayer. Right? Think about that. You wake up and the first thing you do is you practice some gratitude and you do some prayer. Right away, your mind, the moment it wakes up, okay, your subconscious mind is the most open for the first 30 minutes to an hour of you waking up. So whatever you feed your mind throughout the day, okay, in the first 30 minutes of you waking up will determine your thoughts for the rest of the day. Let me give you guys an example. You ever listen to a song in the morning and then it stays stuck with you throughout the whole day? That ever happened to you guys? Put a 1 in the chat box. If you ever heard a song in the morning and then throughout the day you just catch yourself, just always, just practicing the lyrics over and over and over again, like it just stays with you the whole time because you heard it in the morning and now you just catch yourself singing it throughout the day and all of that stuff. Or if you listen to it before bed or whatever it is, it's because your subconscious mind was the most open in the morning, and whatever you fed yourself in that morning, in that time frame, it stays with you the whole day. That's why you were able to listen to that song, even if you weren't even, consciously listening to it, but because a car passed by and was playing it, or because a reel on social media used it, and now that song is stuck with you throughout the day. Right? You catch yourself, just singing the song throughout the day. Why? It's because you have to take advantage of those first 30 minutes. So if it can happen with a song, it can happen with positive thoughts. So when you wake up, you want to make sure that gratitude is one of the main things that you focus on. Feeling grateful, because how do you feel? Gratitude is the source where all good things come from. So if the moment you wake up, you're thankful for what you have, you're thankful for life, you're thankful for waking up, you're thankful for your family, you're thankful for your business, you're practicing some prayer, okay? You have an audio playing as you're brushing your teeth, you're reading your goal card. I am so happy and grateful now. Okay, you ate a banana or you ate some blueberries, okay, in the morning. You're consciously eating good, positive food. You drank some water, you're hydrating your body. You're feeling good about yourself. On your walk outside, you go for a walk outside, you go for a gratitude walk outside. You go and you meditate. You clear your mind of any energies, any thoughts, any things that's not serving you. You read a book for 30 minutes. Okay. You write in your journal. Writing causes thinking. You work out and you work on yourself. And, when you're at 10 push-ups, you do 11 because you're pushing yourself to the best, right? And you're doing more squats and more sit-ups and more of all of this, and you're pushing yourself. You're doing the yoga. Your body is aligned with you. How could you have a bad day if you just did all of that in the morning? Look at how positive of a morning you just had. Look at how amazing your thoughts were. You did your affirmations. You wrote your goals down. You read your goal card multiple times. You spoke it. You read a book. You listened to an audio. You meditated. You journaled. You worked out. You pushed yourself. Now, guess what? That time frame that you dedicated that time to in the morning, now that's going to duplicate in your day. Now you're going to push yourself throughout the day. Now you're going to remember what you wrote down in your journal in the morning. You're going to remember what you learned in your reading session that day. I can tell you for the rest of the day, I can tell you what I've learned about this morning in my book, about the different types of strategies that you can use to manifest your goals. That was one of the things that I was learning this morning. The different strategies, the different techniques, what I should do, how I should set it up, all of these things. That's going to stay stuck with me throughout the day. And guess what? Those are positive, empowering thoughts. Positive, empowering thoughts. I remember what I learned from the audio I was listening to this morning. I remember how clear my visualization was this morning. Those are things that make me feel good. So you got to manage that stuff. And the best way to manage your thoughts is based on what you feed yourself in the morning and what you feed yourself before you go to bed. Yeah, I'm moving back to Miami. So you got to manage that, guys. And that's why I say your morning routine and your night routine are crucial when it comes to this. Remember, I've been doing this for years now. My morning routine, I'm a lot more established and aware than I was in the past. Right? I know what works for me, what doesn't work for me. I know how to put myself in certain states already easily. Okay? But in the beginning of it, there was no slip-ups for me. When I was first starting off with this, guys, you can't slip up with this stuff at all. This has to be something daily, especially when you're working to get out of the situation that you're in. Got to do it daily. Right? My brother KD, he has an alarm that goes off on his phone every hour of the day to remind him to think positive thoughts, to congratulate himself for his accomplishments, congratulate himself for where he's going, thoughts that make him feel good. That's part of self-management right there. That was something that I taught him, that I used to do. I don't do it as much now because I'm more aware now, right? The reason why I used to do it in the past was because I wasn't aware. Now I'm more aware because I did that. I practiced that with the hour every day. But because I did it for so long, now on my own self, I can just celebrate on my own. I can now do it without the alarms because I'm always aware of my stuff. I know how to manage myself already. It's automatic now. But you got to do the alarms every hour until it becomes automatic. Because I did that for months, it became automatic for me. Me positively thinking about my goals is automatic for me. My lock screen is my goals. I'm always speaking my goals. I'm always doing what's required of me. Right? Look, Kim says I have affirmations sent to me every hour. This is so important. So self-management is super key. So that's number 2. Number 3 is social awareness. Understanding and acknowledging others' emotions. This is a difficult one. This one is a little bit more difficult because with social awareness, remember, because emotional intelligence is not just about you, it's about others. Because at the end of the day, we're in a business for people. So social awareness is understanding and acknowledging other people's emotions. Yeah, and my brother, peace and love always, fam. Love you, bro. Social awareness is understanding and acknowledging others' emotions. There's a lot of people in your life, right? We have family, we have friends, we have girlfriends, boyfriends, right? We have kids, we have business partners, right? You got to understand how to handle other people's emotions. And listen to this. This is powerful right here. You can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. Let me repeat that one more time. You can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. That's mad key right there. You can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. You got to know your own emotions and understand your own emotions before you can understand others' emotions. And that's facts. The reason why I've been able to handle certain leaders and certain situations in my life is because I've been able to understand my emotions to the best of my ability. And now I'm able to relate with that individual. Because if you start with your own emotions first, it'll help you understand others' reactions, thoughts, and actions on a better level. That's why when I see certain people react to certain situations, I understand because I know that they just don't know any better. When I see certain people feel a certain way about certain things that happen in life, right? Guess what? I understand because I've been there before. You see that? It's understanding yourself so that you can understand others. Sometimes the reason why you guys bump heads so much with other people is because you don't even understand yourself. So how are you going to understand them? You see how that works? Imagine people who are not aware of their emotional intelligence. They're always going to bump heads, always, because one doesn't understand the other. One is trying to prove one point and the other one is trying to prove a point. And it's at the end of the day, I've always learned this in arguments, for example. In arguments, there's three sides to every story, right? There's your side, their side, and the truth. In an argument, always one person is going to want to prove that they're right and the other one is going to want to prove their point. But at the end of the day, what's the truth? You got to learn how to focus on what's the truth at the end of the day. Not what you want to prove, not what this person wants to prove. What is the truth? What do I want to prove? What do I want to get from this? This is important because you're going to bump heads with people. You're going to bump heads with business partners. You're going to bump heads with family members. You're going to bump heads with that significant other. And it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about what's the truth. What's the truth? What is the truth? Not what you did, not what's the truth. And you got to learn how to get your emotions out of it and focus on the truth, not what the emotions are. Because at the time, you're going to feel emotional, obviously. But you got to know how to sometimes get your emotions out of it and not let it take over. You got to be very, 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 very careful. Right? In the streets, they say your emotions will get you. I'm not going to finish it, but they say it. in the streets, your emotions will get you so on and so forth, right? In business, it's the same way, right? You have to understand when to be emotional, and you got to understand how to separate yourself from those things, all right? And think logically. Lisa said, this is one of those skills that is very tricky to master. It is very true. You got to know how to take your emotions out of it and focus on it logically. That's what we got to learn how to do, how to focus on it logically. Because those emotions will catch up to you if you don't know, especially with your social awareness. If you don't understand how to deal with people, I was reading the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And if you've read the book, you know that in the book, he says that one of the highest paying skills in the whole entire world, probably one of the highest commodities that you can have in life, is learning how to deal with people. Most people don't know how to deal with others. Think about it. I'm in a business of people. I got to deal with people every single day, good and bad. I got to deal with people every day. I got to deal with other people's emotions every day. You know how emotional intelligent you got to be to deal with all the people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis? It's tough. It's difficult. Some people have good emotions. Some have bad emotions. You got to learn how to sometimes be that shoulder to cry on. Sometimes you got to learn how to be the person that sits on the phone, listening to the other person express their emotions without being attached to them. Because you know what happens, guys? And this can happen to you if you're not emotional intelligent. If you have people who come to you to tell you their problems, and you allow them to pour all these emotions and all this energy into you, you can start to feel stressed your own self. You can start to feel those emotions yourself, and you can start to feel like you're carrying their weight as well, because you weren't emotionally intelligent enough to be able to keep it at a certain distance where you didn't accept those emotions. And there's been times that myself, because I'm a leader of an organization, certain people go through certain things and they come to me to talk to me, okay? And their emotions, I start to realize that they start to get heavy on me, because this person is telling me this, that person is telling me this, that person and that person, this person is. And then you start to feel all of these emotions in your heart. And it's not intentionally. It's not intentionally. It's never intentionally. But like someone said here on Instagram, you start to feel their problems become yours. So it's not that you can't help people, because as a leader, that's one of my priorities. I gotta be there for my people. I gotta be there for my leaders. I care about them, but I've had to learn how to take their problems and their situations and what they're going through emotionally. I'm able to listen to them. I'm able to give them feedback on it, but without fully accepting the energy into my aura, if that makes sense, right? So someone can come to me, tell me their problems, tell me their situation, okay? And I can give them great feedback back, right? I can talk to them about it, but I'm not going to fully accept it into my energy. I'm not attached to what they're saying, right? I'm not attached to what they're saying, because it's not my reality at the time. It's their reality. So if I accept it, it becomes my reality. So it's not that I don't care. No. I do care. And I'm going to give you the best advice that I can give you. But what I won't do is I won't accept it into my reality. I won't allow myself to become emotional about what you're saying. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow myself to fall into it as well with you. I'm going to give you advice on it. I'm going to guide you through this. I'm going to be there for you. Okay. But I can't take it all in for me, right? I can't start to be like, damn, man, she's going through that. Like, I can only imagine. Like, and then you start to feel for them, and things start to change, and you start to feel, and then because you're feeling for them, think about it. You are feeling for them. Those feelings start to become yours. And now those feelings start to become yours. And next thing you know, now you're feeling that way. And now you're attracting the similar situations and circumstances that were happening to them. Because you're feeling for them. You see how that works? So you got to know your social awareness. You got to know how to protect yourself, but still be there as a helping hand. I'm not saying to you guys to not be a helping hand. I help everybody on my team. And I listen to everybody's problems on my team. Okay, if somebody has a problem, they come to me, you best believe that I'm there for them. I'm guiding them. I'm giving them the best advice. But I'm not allowing, it's like I almost have like an energy field around me that's protecting me. And I don't allow them to get past that energy field in terms of allowing the emotions to become mine. I'm not attached to their circumstances because I know that their circumstance is temporary, because I can feel for them because I felt that way before as well. So I know not to get attached to their situation because I know that what they're going through, they're going to get through it. I know that this time too also shall pass for them as well. I've been there before. I know what it took for me to get out of it. I can't become attached to their situation because last time I was in that situation, I didn't go about it the right way. But now, like I said again, what did I just say to you guys just earlier, right? There was, where's the quote at? You can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. So because I've met myself at these specific circumstances, okay, now I can meet them there. Right? But it doesn't mean that I have to take their energy and their emotions into my energy field. Right? 11:11. That's how real it is, what I'm saying. So you have to become conscious of what I'm telling you right now. You can only meet someone as deeply as you've met yourself. I'm healed. I feel good. I feel blessed. Okay. I know how I went through those things. So I can now handle those situations a lot better. So this is important right here. That one right there, social awareness, was one that took me time to learn, but now I am really, really good at it. And then level 4 of emotional intelligence is relationship management. Relationship management is being able to influence others, being able to inspire others by leading by example. Relationship management is so important. It is so important. Okay, guys, you gotta know this stuff. Relationship management is key. Very, very, very key. You have no idea how important this all is. Okay. Once you understand this, it changes everything. You got to know how to build relationships with other individuals. Okay. And, you got to understand that relationship building is an ongoing process, not something that you do once and then that's it. You got to understand others. You got to understand the way others are. Right. I know friends of mine, right? I know friends because of the relationship that I have with them, that I know that I got to check in on them every once in a while, because I know if I don't check in on them every once in a while, they're going to start to feel some kind of way. Right. That's a perfect example of of relationship management. Right. I don't want my people to feel some kind of way. Right. So I know that there's certain things that I have to do in order for me to keep that relationship solid between them. Okay. A perfect example of it is in a relationship, right? managing that relationship is so key. Knowing what makes them happy, knowing what triggers them, right? If you know you're going to do something that's going to trigger that individual, okay, and you still do it, that's lack of relationship management, right? If you know that, you going to that party is going to trigger your significant other and you still go to that party, that's not good relationship management. If you know that, bringing your girl home some flowers or bringing your man home, his favorite meal or something like that home is going to help him with that relationship, with that management of the relationship, you need to know this stuff. You need to know how to manage and how to understand the people that are close to you, what makes them happy, what triggers them. You got to know this stuff. With your family, with your team, with your leaders, with your brothers, with your sisters. You need to know how to manage every situation. Every relationship needs management. Every relationship around me, my close ones, I know what makes them happy, what doesn't. I know what triggers them, what makes them excited. Okay? This is important. Very, very, very key. I have friends that, I got to check in on them every week. I have friends that I don't have to talk to them for 3 months and they're okay with it, right? You need to know how to manage all the relationships in your life. Okay? Being a good example always is key. You got to know how to, all of this stuff is key information. And if you read the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0, right, which is a book that I recommend that you guys all read at some point in your life, it'll help you out a lot. And you know why the book Emotional Intelligence 2.0 is so dope is because when you buy the book, before you actually start reading the book, it has you take a test online. It has you take a test online to test your, emotional intelligence, right? So you can test that emotional intelligence. And then at the end of the book, you take it again. When I did mine, if I'm not mistaken, my self-awareness and my social awareness were my strengths. My relationship management and my social management was what I had to focus on, was what I had to work on a little bit more, right? So my let me see if I remember right. My self-awareness was my strength for sure. My self-awareness and my self-management were my strengths. My social awareness and my relationship management was something that I had to work on. So the first two, I was good. The second two were things that I had to work on. Somebody said here, let me see. Glad to see that kind of change. One of the things that stopped me to continue was that culture of hunters not really caring about people. Glad you're bringing that up. Yeah, man, you gotta care about people, and you can't take it personal if people don't care. You see, one thing about me, guys, is look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't take nothing personal. If you don't want to help me, that's okay. You don't want to be my friend, that's okay. When I came into this business, bro, people threw me to the curb and told me to figure it out. I didn't care. I was like, I bet. If anything, I use that as a fire to keep me going. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm like, all right, bet. You don't want to help me. That's fine. That's cool. Now I'm going to eat your food. Now I'm going to work my butt off so that you can see that I'm really that guy. I'm really that guy. You slept on me, right? Say less. I use that as motivation. I don't ever let somebody's opinion of me or any of these things. I don't take that stuff personal, bro. I'm going to eat your food now so you can see what I'm really about. And that's the savageness inside of me, right? That's a lot of you guys know Mornings with Nano, right? And I come on these calls and I'm very civil and I keep it honest with you guys. But there's a side of me inside, is the Gemini, right? Then there's that savage side of Neno, right? The I'm gonna eat your food, I'm gonna stay up late, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna outwork you, I'm gonna outread you, I'm gonna read more books than you, I'm gonna listen to more audios than you, I'm gonna stay up later than you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to beat you. I'm not gonna let you beat me. I'm not gonna let you eat off my plate. I have that savage side of me. I have a super, super savage side of me. Like, and if you know me, you know, right? You know me. It's just this thing inside of me that I could, it's like from a snap of a finger, I could just, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go for everything. And I've been like that my whole life. I've been like that my whole life since I was young. I've been like that. I've been like that my whole entire life. It's like my teammates used to tell me that all the time. They're like, bro, you're like night and day. Like you're like the nicest person in the world. When, you know, because, you know, my team members, you know, they get to see, you know, when you're in school, they kind of get to see both sides of you. So when I was, you know, on a regular day, you know, I'm a nice guy. I talk to everybody and hugs and smiles and everything. And everything is sweet, you know. But when we got on that field, it was, I'm not gonna let you eat my food. I'm coming for you. Like, just different type of energy. It was like almost like night and day. You know, it's like it. You know, that's why they say that, you know, a lot of the most success, you can actually look this up. Some of the most successful actors are Geminis because they can play two characters very well. They can play different characters incredibly well, right? And I'm not an actor, but bro, I'm telling you guys, like, it's literally like night and day. Yeah, I seen that when you followed me on the court. Dude, it's so key for you to know this stuff. And these moments, these lessons that I'm teaching you guys, okay, you gotta know this stuff. And you need to have those sides inside of you as well. You need to know when it's time to play and when it's time to get serious. When it's time to get serious, right? Yo, I'm telling you, this could change your life if understood. LOL, Pisces can def relate. Well, it's funny because I'm a Gemini sun and then I'm a moon and rising Pisces. So it explains the emotions, it explains the stuff. And I do believe in that stuff. I think it's truly real. I'm not heavy into it, but I know that this stuff is real. Because at the end of the day, it does make sense, right? We were born at a certain time, at a certain day. The stars were aligned, the way the planets were moving, everything. So these things make a lot of sense. And we got to understand our emotions, and we got to make sure, right? We got to make sure that we are connected with our best self, with the inner version of us on a deeper level than anybody can understand. Emotional intelligence can change your life. It can change your life if you allow it. So the 4 levels are: number 1, self-awareness; number 2, self-management; number 3, okay, social awareness; and number 4, relationship management. My best advice is start with the basics, and every situation that happens in your life, there's going to be things that happen today in your life. There's going to be things that happen today in your life that your emotional intelligence is going to get put to the test. I hope that you remember me telling you, hey, don't slip up, don't react, respond. Gemini, moon, and rising. Hello. So you gotta remember this stuff. And this is very, very, very key, guys. Very key. Take this in. Don't allow yourself to get caught slipping with this stuff. This will change your life forever. All right, fam. So if you guys got value from that, give me some 444s in the chat box for the 4 levels of emotional intelligence. This is super important information, life-changing. If I were to tell you guys one of my strengths is my emotional intelligence. I worked on it and I worked on it, and because I'm an emotional person, so I had to work on it the most. I'm very, very aware of my emotional intelligence. My emotional intelligence has become my strength, and every day I'm working on it more and more and more. Okay, so with that being said, that wraps up this week. We had a great week. Next week, we're going to have an even better week. Next week, I actually have some special guests hopping on. I have one of my friends hopping on. She's going to do a social media training for us next week. I know some of you guys were asking me for a social media training. So this next week is, I'm going to get some social media trainings in. And I might bring back Matt Gribby. I know that we said first Friday of every month, but I know we just had him on not too long ago. So I'm going to ask him maybe next Friday so we could bring him back, maybe a Q&A kind of thing that we can ask him some questions. Maybe we can set up some questions beforehand and ask him some very, very powerful, intentional questions, kind of interview style, and kind of pick his brain on some of the things that he's doing and stuff like that to get himself to the next level. So I'll ask him and I'll let you guys know. But with that being said, guys, that wraps up today's call. I love you guys so much. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram, Long Live Nano. My Twitter is Live Love Nano. Love you more, fam. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel. Turn on your post notifications for when my calls come on. Leave a comment below on what's one thing that you learned on this call today. It would mean the world to me if you just leave a comment on what was one thing that you learned on this call today. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us and we're going to head out. All right, fam. Quick prayer. Bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful Friday morning filled with your grace and your abundance. Today, we don't really want to ask for much, Father. We just want to express gratitude. We want to say thank you for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Friday morning. Thank you for our health. Thank you for your protection. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you for being our leader. Thank you for loving us unconditionally. Thank you for protecting us from bad energies. Thank you for pouring in wisdom on a day-to-day basis for us. Thank you for making us aware of our emotional intelligence and how to develop a better emotional intelligence in our lives so we can become better. Thank you, God. We are just so extremely thankful for all that you do for us. And we just want you to know that we are just filled with gratitude daily for the amount of lessons, the guidance, the wisdom that you are pouring into us. We are learning so much. We are all growing incredibly, and we are just so thankful. The only thing that we will ask for today, God, is that you give us the awareness and the strength that we need in order for us to make our emotional intelligence our strength and for it to become our most, honestly, our best attribute. That would be one of our best attributes for us to have, is having strong emotional intelligence, and a very, very good one, Father. So we love you so much. Thank you for all that you do for us, and thank you for all that you will continue to do for us. We appreciate you. Let's go out there and have a blessed weekend. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. Amen. Amen. Amen, fam. So with that being said, great call. I'm excited. I'm gonna miss you guys over the weekend, but I'll make sure that we come back on Monday with a great lesson. Look, guys, it's already September. Summer is gone, man. Crazy when you think about it, bro. Summer is basically gone, G. Wow. Even just thinking about it, I'm like, bro, the summer is gone. It's September. And we're about to go into convention. Next thing you know, it's Halloween, Thanksgiving. Look how fast 3 months passed. June, July, and August flew. It's flew. So what does that mean? October, November, December, they're about to fly too. So just pay attention, lock in. This is all preparation for 2023 right now that we're doing. All right, fam. So I love y'all so much. Like the video if you haven't liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. And let's get this rocking, fam. Love y'all and see you guys on Monday, fam. Enjoy y'all weekend.